All right, welcome to Powderpuff, the sports cat podcast by the girls for the girls. It's been a couple weeks. We missed the week of Halloween because it was Halloween, and
Yeah.
then last week it was just too crazy again and like too tired. And but this week we're making it work. We're back on it. It's a late Thursday night, but we're chilling. But I I haven't really talked to you in like 2 weeks. So what is new with you?
Basketball season started.
Love.
I don't know if I talked about that before.
You talked
Maybe.
about how
Yeah, it started. So we've had our first games. Azena
how
has
did
had
it
her
go?
first games. Good. Yeah, she's enjoying it. She really likes it. So that's good. Just staying busy at work. And yeah, that's
Are
things
things
really
picking
new.
up?
It's like I'm just, yeah. Oh yeah.
Good.
End of the year. So people are trying to get, equipment and working capital to end the year strong.
Yep.
So I definitely need a cocktail after this week. It's been a rough week at
Oh,
work, but
I
it's
mean,
always fun.
the weekend looms ever closer. So, oh
And I'll be at basketball all weekend. So
my God,
all good.
it's busy and
I
packed.
just am in the motion. You say we haven't talked in, forever, but I feel like it's just been a couple days because it's
Right.
all blurred together.
And I mean, I feel like that's a common thing with us is to like we can go like a month or two without talking, and it's like, okay, it's been a minute, we've got to like hang out again. But at the same time, it's like, didn't I just see you yesterday when we get back together? Like,
It's
it's how
great.
it's wonderful. There's nothing weird. It's just like, all right, let's kick it. What's
Definitely
up?
low maintenance friendship.
It's the best.
Yeah, I can't do that. I'm too busy.
Right.
That's my
No.
life, you know? And
Yeah.
you're busy too.
Yeah. No, I was talking to Dayton's parents about it the other week. I was like, at this point, I hang out with Dayton, I hang out with his family, and I see Courtney once a week, and that's pretty much it. And like, I'm fine with that. Like, I have my friends at work that I talk to while I'm at work. And like I talk to like my long distance best friend who lives in Arkansas every once in a while, and like I see my siblings, and like I'm at one like I sometimes still like I'll still see people who like you and I are mutually friends with, but like definitely used to be closer friends with, I think for both of us. And like especially on Halloween, I was like, oh, all my friends who I used to hang out with all the time are like out together and doing a group costume. And like for half a second, I felt left out. And then I was like, God, going out, doing a full costume? Absolutely not. Like,
I went out in full costume with the girls. We had our
yeah,
theme costumes.
I saw the girls were like, they
We were
were
all DC
villain.
villains.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because who is Poison Ivy?
I was.
Okay.
And Avery
And
was
then,
Harley Quinn. And then Azena was the Joker. And Aspen
well,
was Catwoman.
yes. Oh my gosh, she killed it as
Oh,
Catwoman in
yeah.
those pictures. Oh my God, it was so good.
Yeah, she definitely did.
Yeah,
She was totally in character. It was a lot of fun. It was the first year we all went as a theme.
I
So
love that.
it was fun.
Did you stay in your neighborhood or did you go back to like Happy
I went,
Hollow?
yeah, I went to the back to the old neighborhood. That's the
Yeah,
best place to trick or treat.
it is such a good spot. Like I loved like that was the first time I ever saw people trick-or-treating with like golf carts and like stuff going up and down the streets. It was sick.
Yeah, it was fun. I like it over there.
Good.
So then we
Yeah.
did Boo at the zoo or the zoo, the zoo thing. That was fun.
Yeah. And that was in Lincoln, right?
No, at the Omaha Zoo.
Oh, I don't there was one happening the day of the half marathon that was at the Lincoln Zoo.
Oh yeah, Boo at the zoo. Oh, we haven't podcasted since you ran your marathon.
Yeah, no, it's been so long.
Damn. So I have seen you in between.
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, that is true. Oh, yeah, at around mile 11. Yep. Dude, the craziest thing. So after, like, I saw you guys and I said hi and I ran, like, under that bridge, right?
Yeah.
And I get around the bridge corner and there's an ambulance and like a guy on the side of the road who is like paramedics are all around him and they're like, you have to like run this certain direction because we have to make space for another ambulance to come in that's more fully equipped. And I didn't think much of it because I'm like, I've got a mile and a half left in this half marathon. I'm just trying to get it done. And I'm also like not trying to ogle this guy who's collapsed. And I get to the finish line and Dayton's like, did you hear that somebody had a heart attack while they were running? And I was like, oh my God, that was that guy that I just passed. Like, he had a heart attack at like mile 12.
Wow.
Dayton said it was because of like, he thought it was because of lack of fluids and somehow like the lacking fluids caused cardiac arrest. I don't know. I'm not a science person. I don't know how that works. But
Damn.
yeah, that was right after I saw you guys. It was nuts.
I felt bad we couldn't get down there sooner, but life was life in that morning.
Yeah, no, that was once I saw that you had their brother with you, or with, yeah, with you guys, I was like, oh, yeah, no, for sure. An extra tween? No.
Yeah, all weekend.
Ugh. But it sounded like it was a good weekend.
Oh yeah, a lot of fun.
Good.
They have fun, they get along, so it's good.
Yeah, totally. Oh, I love it.
It's just like my life is so it's just their life.
Yeah, everything's entangled
I
and
shouldn't even say
intertwined.
my life. It's just their life.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
their
along
life.
for
You're
the
just
ride.
living in it.
Yeah.
You're just doing the scheduling and the admin.
Yeah. Exactly. Get it. So,
Oh my God. Well, we had trick-or-treaters this year for the first time. Like, this is our third Halloween that we've been at the house.
mhm.
And the first year we had almost no one. And then the second year we had again almost no one. And so we always buy a ton of candy. And this year we were just like, we know what we're getting. We're not gonna like we're gonna get like 3 bags of candy and call it good. So many trick-or-treaters this year. It was
Awesome.
bananas. So like we still had a little bit of candy left over, but like we used to give out handfuls, and this year we really had to like ration it. It was awesome, and like Jeff, who is a friend of Dayton's dad's, like his dad's best friend, came over with his girlfriend, maybe, and their kid, and then Dayton's dad came over with like his daughter and the daughter's mom, and like we all hung out for a while, and then they all had to clear out because Dayton's mom came over and they don't get along. And so Dayton's mom showed up with Kenna, who's Dayton's sister, who's Faith's age, and her friend. And then we all hung out with them, and like we hung out with Beth and Quentin the whole night, and it was a really good night. Like nobody got belligerently drunk, which is always good.
Yeah, very true.
Because that first Halloween we had like an alcohol wheel for the parents, but since nobody was coming, Dayton, Quentin, and Jackson were just like spinning it themselves. And I think Quentin ended up putting down like 4 or 5 Trulies, like 4 shots of Fireball, and half a bottle of Screwball. And he
What a
was,
horrible mixture.
oh God, it was awful. And then he's like throwing up, and it was so bad, so bad.
We left our neighborhood like right, it was dark out when we left our neighborhood, right when it got dark. Nobody
Yeah.
had their lights on. There was maybe one family walking down the street. I'm like,
Oh,
what? This is so sad. This is why we're not doing this in our neighborhood.
yeah. But
Nobody had their light.
I feel like Halloween now is so different than Halloween when we were kids.
I think trunk or treats have ruined Halloween
I like don't understand the concept of a trunk or treat. Like it's not even on Halloween.
because I guess some parents say, well, we spend money on a costume. Why can they not wear it more than once? Some say it's safer. Hey, let these kids run through the yards and go get some candy. What is the
Right.
big deal?
Like, what do you mean safer? You're walking behind them the entire time.
And they do them from like 2 to 4 in the afternoon. It's not dark out. The little kids don't even need candy, that much candy.
Yeah, no. Like the little ones will go to like maximum like 5 or 6 houses, but then once you get into like middle elementary, I remember we used to like we had a route, and we started at my grandma's and then we went up every house on this huge hill, all the way to the end of her neighborhood, like 5 blocks of train tracks, and then cut down a different street. So we were hitting like 40 houses. Like
And then
it
they
was
act like
awesome.
they're sorry to interrupt. They act like they're not, they just put costumes on their kids. It's not like they're doing their makeup.
Right,
I look at it as we do full faces of makeup, and I don't care that it's one night a week or one night a year. It's
right.
fun for that one night.
Yeah.
Go all out for that one night.
And it's one thing in my neighborhood that I've noticed that's weird too is like I get off work at 5. I'm coming home at 5:30 and there's like the sun's just starting to set. Like it's not going to be down and dark for another 45 minutes. And there's already kids out in like the
Yeah.
wealthier part of my neighborhood. And I'm like, that's crazy to me. We had a rule growing up that was like, you get out of school, you go home, you get like dressed up, and then we would have dinner. And it was like it was always like a fun special dinner because it was at my grandma's, and my grandma's every holiday is fun and special there. And like it was back when her fireplace worked, so we would like roast hot dogs in her fireplace in the living room, or like she had these special like plastic cutlery that she used every year, and it was there was a black set, an orange set, and a purple set, and all of the like the forks um had like the handles looked like bones, and the knives the handles looked like a witch, and the spoons the handles were like 3 pumpkins. And like the rule, it was like super fun lead up, but the rule was you at the very earliest you do not go out and trick or treat until like 6:15, 6:30, because you let the really little kids go out between 5:45 and 6:15, and then the bigger kids go out. And
Right.
like it was this huge thing. I remember like my grandma used to keep count, and one year she was like, we had like 200 trick-or-treaters tonight. And now it's like if we got like maybe 30, and we were like, this is amazing. This is the biggest crowd we've ever gotten.
We
So
went to a house this year. They were out of candy. They had 800 kids come through
oh
where we were. But same thing in my neighborhood growing up, somebody hosted it in their garage. It was my parents a lot. My mom this year fed her whole neighborhood and had Rafa cater it.
oh my god, I love that.
But like somebody would be in charge of, the food for Halloween. It's usually like chili or taco night, something
Mhm.
quick that the kids could eat. But we all met up in somebody's garage and the parents would fill their cups up and walk around with the kids,
Yeah,
which that's why we go back to our old neighborhood because not every neighborhood is like that anymore.
yeah.
I don't
It's
get it.
it's like I don't want to say it's frustrating because it's not. It's just like disappointing.
Yeah,
Like
yes.
I don't know. Like the wonder of Halloween is kind of gone.
Mhm.
And I think that's one of the reasons why as an adult I just like am not into Halloween. Like for me now it's a night to sit in the driveway with my friends and like listen to music and sit around a fire and hope that kids show up and just like eat a lot of food.
Yeah.
So like this year was fantastic. It's one of the best Halloweens I've had as an adult. But like yeah.
I'm
And
like,
then
I wanted to go out. I wanted to go to an adult Halloween party, but I was not going as Poison Ivy by myself somewhere. Like, where am I
right. Yeah. And I didn't get invited to anything this year, which I thought
either?
was fine. Like I get it. Everybody knows that I don't like to stay out late and I don't really like to drink and all that stuff. But like I don't know, like maybe one year I'll go out
I
again
could have,
cuz
but I just didn't want to. So I packed it up and I put it away in the tote and I packed all the girls' up because they're wearing women's size now. And
oh
I'm
my
like,
god.
Halloween is you're going to wear this one year when you're a teenager. What am I going to
Yep.
say about it?
Right.
Your vintage Poison Ivy outfit from your mom.
Yep.
You guys are all going to go off to college or whatever you choose to do when you're older. And you're going to need multiple Halloween costumes. You're going to go through that stage. So save it. There we go.
Yep.
Instead of,
Might as well
yeah.
make it work. Yeah, that's awesome. And then of course the week after Halloween, we're not gonna talk about it really, but we had the election,
Oh, yeah.
and that was, it happened.
Election. Everybody knows what happened at the election. So, yeah.
Yep. And then
Just
the next day happened, and
sports.
ever since that day, I feel like everyone's kind of just been chilling.
Yeah.
Like
Just been getting through the motions of every day.
Yeah. Um, but
Thank
yeah,
God for football and
thank God for football.
basketball and my children.
Yes, 100%. Like I've been big into reading recently. Like I'm rereading the Harry Potter series.
Mhm.
And so like I just put after we were texting all day the next day, I like got home, I put my phone down and I was like, I'm just gonna read. Like I cannot go on social media anymore. Like I'm just gonna read. And so that was a nice break too. But
Yeah.
yeah. But
We started a new show on Netflix.
what did you start?
The Life with the Walter Boys or Life with the Walter Boys.
I don't think I've even heard of that.
It's a Netflix show.
What is it about?
This girl who's from New York loses her mom, dad, and sister. They were in a car accident. That's how the show starts. And she moves with her mom's best friend from college, who lives in Colorado with 9 kids, 8 of them being boys.
Oh my God.
So, like, the daughter is a total tomboy.
Yeah.
And she moves into this like chaotic life, or like much more chaotic lifestyle on the farm in the middle of Colorado versus a New York City girl. And so that's where we're at. But the girls are enjoying it. So we
Okay.
feel
I like that. I'll have to look into it.
like see episode 4 or 5.
Okay. I started rewatching Gilmore Girls.
Oh, I've never watched that. I've heard
I
things, but I've never
I
watched.
didn't watch it until after college, or maybe in college. I got into it in college, yeah. And like I haven't rewatched it in years because I've probably seen the series through 3 times, but like I ran out of reality TV to watch while I was working to like have as background noise, so I started rewatching Gilmore Girls, and I'm like, my favorite character, my favorite one of Rory's boyfriends, just arrived in today's episode, so I'm excited now to see the fall of her first boyfriend, who is the worst. But
Love
yeah, all right. I took out a lot of football notes
it.
because I just had weeks of football notes stacked on top of each other. So I took them out and tried to keep the most relevant stuff in, like the most recent stuff, with one exception that we have to talk about because it was so crazy. But I figured um for our one college game this week, we talk about the Ole Miss Georgia game. I don't know if you like know anything about what happened at that game.
No.
Okay, so Ole Miss was ranked 18 and Georgia was ranked number 3. And it was a game at Ole Miss. And so like Georgia was supposed to win. They're ranked 3. And Ole Miss won. It was an insane upset. Like it wasn't even close. I think the final point spread was like, I don't know, like 17 points maybe. Like Georgia had no shot to come back and win it. But
Ooh.
Ole Miss got so excited because it's like it's dark out because it was like I don't know, like 3 p.m. game. So by the time the game's over, the sun's set and everyone's amped up. It's been raining, but everybody's still there because it is such a big game. So we're in the fourth quarter. There's 16 seconds left and Georgia has the ball, but everybody knows that Georgia's about to lose. The Ole Miss crowd gets so excited that they rush the field before the game was over.
With time on the clock.
With time on the clock, 16 seconds left on the clock, and they rush the field. And they had to like stop everything and then get everybody onto the sidelines. And Georgia just like basically like snapped the ball and kneeled because they were like, we know it's over and all of these people are already out here, like what's the point? So they didn't really even run a play, and then they rushed the field again. The field goal post went down, it's raining, it was like chaos. It was so good. And
I
they
missed
like they had like drone footage of, or like those cameras that are on the lines going over the field.
that.
And there's like all these college kids, and in the middle of them, just like this 65-year-old guy looking like it's Christmas morning. Like he's so happy about this upset, and it was so cute. But that was an awesome, sick game. But I think because Dayton was in Notre Dame this weekend for the Florida State game, and I think that's the one that I No. I watched a game in lieu of the Notre Dame game because there was no point in watching it this week because Florida State is terrible this year. Notre Dame won that game 52-3. Like, Dayton said they left in the third quarter because,
52-3.
yeah, because Florida State sucks.
That's not even a game.
I know.
After seriously, after the third quarter. Good
Yeah,
grief.
horrible. Oh, and also since last we met, Navy is no longer undefeated. Notre Dame beat them.
Okay.
So I think Army is still undefeated, I think, and Notre Dame plays Army like the weekend after, like a couple days after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So that'll be a good test, but that was a good college game. I wanted before I get into the KC Denver game recap, um 2 weekends ago, I don't know if you saw this, Washington Commanders versus the Bears. It was they were in DC. And so, or I guess not DC, but like wherever the Commanders play, like Arlington, Virginia, maybe. And it was like I don't think I wrote it. Oh yeah. It was fifth it was oh gosh, I gotta do math. Hang on. What's 15 minus 6? It was 9. Commanders had 9 and the Bears had 12. And there was 2 seconds left in the game, and the Commanders had the ball. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
everyone's like, the game is over, whatever. Freaking, is it Jaden Daniels who's the quarterback for the Commanders right now?
I'm not going to confirm that, but I watched this. I did see this.
Okay, so the quarterback, there's 2 quarterbacks right now. One of them is on the Bears and one of them is on the Commanders, and they're both rookies, and they are both like very highly esteemed rookies. And one of them is Jaden Daniels, and I want to say Jaden Daniels is for the Commanders. Let me
Look
actually
it up
look that
while
up
you
really.
talk about it. I'll look it up.
What?
I'll look
Okay,
it
yeah,
about it.
please do. Oh, I literally have
Let
it
me
written right
take
here.
my
Jaden
notes better.
Daniels. Yeah,
I
it
need
is
to
Jaden
start
Daniels.
taking notes better when I'm watching the game.
So there's 2 seconds to win the game. They're down by a touchdown, or they're down by actually 3 points, but they're so far out of field goal range. They're like on their own 40.
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, okay, perfect. And so Jaden Daniels, like he gets the ball snapped to him. The 2 seconds run out. So like no matter what happens, the game is gonna be over after this play. And he's scrambling out of pocket for probably like 7 to 10 seconds. He's just scrambling, like he gets out of the pocket, goes back, he comes to the near hash, nothing, goes to the far hash, nothing, comes back in a little bit. It's been so long. And finally, he just lobs this Hail Mary to the end zone, and the Bears tip it up, and the Commanders catch it, and they win the game on a Hail Mary. It was like Westercatch 2014. It was bananas. And the best part, I don't know if you saw this, you might have, was that the Bears player who tipped the ball up so that they received it, and the Commanders received it for
Oh,
the.
this is the best part.
Oh my god, it's the best part. This dude didn't even know that the play had started because he had his back to Jaden Daniels and he was in the end zone. So he's like 60 yards away, and he's taunting the Washington Commanders fans, like being a total jerk, like counting his chickens before they hatched. And then you see a clip of the Bears fans that are in like the end zone seats, and they're screaming at him to look because the play has started. And so he finally turns around, gets into this big group of guys, tips the ball back, and basically gives the Commanders the win. And that's what you get for being a douche. Like, you lose your
Celebrating
team game.
too early.
It
Two
was,
seconds on the
oh,
clock. You have to wait until that clock says 0.
yes. It was, I mean, if there's
That's
anything
gonna
we learned
haunt
from
him
the
for the
Kansas
rest of
City
his
game,
life.
yes. Like, that is a lesson that I've had to learn the hard way multiple times. Like,
Mhm.
it's not over until it's over, and you cannot act like it's over. Like, even outside of sports, with my whole stuff with leaving teaching the day before I left, like, you can't act like it's over because it's not over yet.
Yeah,
Like,
you're right. Anything in life, you need to finish it out. Whatever it
yeah,
is, you have
yeah,
to finish it out.
right. And so that was incredible. I remember I was watching it, like, Dayton was on his phone, I think. And I was like, because we were just casually watching it because we were only catching the last like 2 minutes. And I'm like, I had just laid my head down and taken my glasses off. And I was watching without my glasses, so like I can't really see shit. But I remember laying there and then I saw him scrambling for forever. And then I saw him lob the Hail Mary and I grabbed my glasses and slammed them on my face. And I saw the catch and I was like, oh my God. And Dayton looks up and he was like, holy fuck. Like, yeah,
Or the win too.
yeah, oh my gosh. I can't imagine how electric it had to be in that stadium for all of those Commanders fans. Because who would have thought that the Commanders are going to be such like a force to be reckoned with?
You just
Like
never know.
they were so bad last year. I feel like last year they were like 13-2. Or no, 2-13, my bad. And this year, like, they're Super Bowl contenders. Like, everybody's like, yeah, between the Lions and the Commanders, like, those two could be, like, you would have told me that 3 years ago, the Lions and the Commanders would be both Super Bowl contenders mid-season. I would have been like, that's ridiculous. Like, absolutely not. But it's so
Some
fun.
rookie quarterbacks just get real hungry and
Yep,
they just come out and they shine in the NFL. It happens.
yes. And some of them, like, there are so many quarterbacks, too, who I feel really bad for because, like, Trevor Lawrence. Like
He was
Trevor
so
Lawrence has
hyped up.
had a he was just got the worst shortest end of the stick, like getting drafted by the Jags. And like even Joe Burrow, like Joe Burrow's good.
Right. That's what I was
He's
thinking of too.
yeah, like he's got a strong non-postseason contending team. But he's Joe Burrow, so he should have made it to the postseason more than he has. Like he made it to a Super Bowl in his first year, second year, but they lost to the Rams.
I mean, look at Dak Prescott, all that money they paid for him.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
Jerry
The
Jones
hype,
needs to
man.
sell the Cowboys. Like he needs to get the Cowboys under new management. Jerry Jones is like too old. He needs to step down.
I would agree.
Yeah. And also they need to bench Dak Prescott. Like
They're not going to.
no, they paid
They're
him way too
paying
much
him
money.
too. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And then, oh my God, did you see who is back this week or last week?
Tua.
Yes.
Why
Oh
are
my
they
God.
doing this to him?
Dude, I don't know. And then one of
Didn't I
his,
tag you in that? And you saw he doesn't
uh,
even know his teammates' names.
yeah, what A Chain said. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was in like,
This guy's
I'm
brain is
wearing a
fried.
Guardian helmet. Yeah, like I'm wearing a Guardian helmet to protect myself because I've been around Tua and I've seen what he's like. And like, he thinks my name's Travis or whatever. And I'm hoping that he takes some steps to protect himself before he gets another hit and suddenly I'm Jeremy. Like, oh my God.
Can't believe he's back.
I and he like did you see like that video that everyone was memeing this week of like Tua is the only person in the NFL actively trying to get CTE of like he threw a ball, got picked off, he ran to stop the pick, and he put his head down into the guy's kneecaps.
He's
I'm
not
like,
all there. I
I
really don't
yeah,
think
like
he's all there. Truly. He does not.
yeah,
Ugh. Yeah.
he needs to get taken off the field. Like they should like he's a grown adult, he can make his own choices, but like, didn't Aaron Hernandez have like crazy CTE and that's what turned him
Yeah.
into a murderer?
Yes. Have you ever watched that documentary?
I think I've watched 70% of it.
Okay.
Yeah. But like, have we learned nothing from Aaron Hernandez? Like, stop giving yourself
Obviously
CTE.
not.
Like you're gonna like give yourself so much CTE that you're gonna like get schizophrenia or something. I don't know. That's just like one of my biggest fears is schizophrenia. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, I would
But
agree.
yeah. In other news before NFL related news before I get into the KC game recap, Jared Goff, who is the quarterback for the Lions, has more touchdowns than incomplete passes this season, which
You
is
ready? Are the Chiefs ready for the Lions in the Super Bowl? It's gonna happen.
I that one is gonna if that's what goes down, that's gonna be a really tough one for me. Like I think we talked about it the first episode of
We did.
like I
You spoke
want
it into existence.
I know, like I want the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl this year so badly because a three-peat like a consecutive three-peat has never been done, not even by the Patriots with Tom Brady, Gronk, and Belichick. It's never been done. And
Yeah,
so
the
I
Dolphins
want
did it.
what?
The Dolphins have done it.
Not in the Super Bowl era though.
But
Like
don't they like they carry this? I don't know. They're always bragging that nobody's done it as a three-peat. I'm pretty sure the Dolphins did it.
I saw at the beginning of the year that the only team who's ever done it was technically the Packers, but the Packers did it pre-Super Bowl era. Um, Let me look. Has any NFL team three-peated?
The Dolphins, 1971, 72, and 73. Oh no, they've been there three times in a row, but none of them have won three in a row.
Yeah, it says it's been 56 years since Kramer's Packers won three consecutive championships, an NFL title in 1966, followed by Super Bowl wins in 67 and 68. So the Packers won the first ever Super Bowl in 67, but in 66 it wasn't like the Super Bowl, it was just the NFL title game.
Oh,
So
so the
no
Dolphins
team has
went.
won three straight.
So they went 3 years in a row. So if it would be like if the Chiefs go this year and lose the Super Bowl because they won the first two, then they
Yeah.
went the third time and lost in the Super Bowl.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they need to
But
do this.
like so like yeah, then the Chiefs but like so I really want the Chiefs to do that, to be the first team to ever do that. And I know the rest of the world is like, "Oh my god, like hating so hard. Like this is an insufferable era. Like I miss
I'm
Tom
like
Brady, all this
starting
stuff."
to hate. That's so bad because I'm
I
such a big fan of Andy Reid. I really am. But
yes.
it's the media on the players, and I just am over it. Like I'm very much so over it.
Yeah. I guess I just like I get different content maybe cuz like so much of my content is just like breakdown of plays.
Oh
So
yeah.
like the most like I'll get new heights content on my reels and stuff, but like
Mhm.
that's different for me. And like I'll get the Instagram posts of like here's Taylor arriving to the stadium and like
Yeah, I'm over that.
yeah,
You already know I'm over that.
right.
I
But
love your
like
sweatshirt and mine. It's so Sarah and Courtney coded, both of ours. Yours is so
yes.
cute and mine is so me.
Oh my freaking lord. I love it. But yeah, but like on the other hand with the Super Bowl, I want the Lions to win the Super Bowl just in general so badly.
But do you really want them to beat the Chiefs in the
That's the
Super Bowl?
problem. I want them to win, but I want them to win next year. Like,
Not
we don't
this
have to
year.
four-peat. Like, we don't need it. Like, I'll take a three-peat. I'll be so happy with it. We're the first people to ever do it. We're good. Lions win 20, like, in the winter of 2026. Totally fine with that. And like it'll be different too. Like I think the NFC title or the NFC championship game is going to be Commanders Lions. If the Commanders win, screw the Commanders. Like I don't care about
The
them.
Chiefs are
Lose.
beating them for sure. I
Yeah.
think the Lions Chiefs game would be a better game than Commanders Chiefs.
Yes. Well, did you see that thing that was like it was leaked, quote unquote, this week of the Super Bowl matchup and result? Like the script has been written type of nonsense.
No, who did they say
It's
it was?
Chiefs Lions finals and like if this is actually how the game goes it would be an insane game. I would love to watch it. It was final score Chiefs 56 Lions 53.
That's a lot of points on the board.
I know.
That's not happening.
Right, that would be a nuts game.
Yeah,
But
that's so
like I don't know, we'll see.
I'm
um
the videos I get when it comes to the Chiefs are like all the bad play calls, and I'm like, what the hell? Why are these not getting called?
yeah, yeah, like I've
I'm kind
seen
of over it. I'm kind of overseeing that, and I'm like, why do they get? But then I forget this happens in every single game. They're just
yes.
focused on the Chiefs right now in
Well, during the
every
Chiefs
single game.
bye week, the Chiefs had bye week recently, and during the bye week, I saw one targeted at a different team. I think it was targeted at the Vikings. And I was like, listen, we're always gonna have blown calls. Like, it's just always gonna happen.
Mhm.
But, like, I do get it. Like, if it's blatant and obvious and the refs don't call it, that makes me mad because I'm like, it's quit giving them more fodder for their fire. Like, I don't want to hear about how it's rigged anymore. I want it to be not rigged. And if that means, I've said it before, if that means we lose, then so be it. But at least we know it's not rigged. At least we know we earned what we're getting. But,
Yeah.
like, because I don't know, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I saw the game where there were like 3 face masks that the Chiefs defense should have been called on that they didn't get called on. And I was like, yeah, that's real bad. That's not a good look at all because those are so blatant. And there were 3 of them happening at once. Like, very blatant. But yeah. Did you see Saquon Barkley's backwards hurdle?
Incredible. He got drug tested right after the game. He walked off
Yes,
the
I
field and he
saw that. Yeah,
got
he
drug tested.
he had to submit to a
Oh,
random drug test.
I'm so sorry. I didn't even read that. I promise.
No, you're good. But I thought it was so funny, and I was laughing, and I said that to Dayton. He's like, "Yeah, of course they had to drug test him. Have you ever
It was
seen anything like that?
incredible. A
Bananas.
backwards hurdle
Like it's cool enough to break
in
3
motion.
tackles, but like you break 2 tackles and then you turn backwards and then you just jump over 2 guys. Like, are you joking?
The
Bananas.
Eagles uniforms, the one he has on in that picture, are so good.
Yeah, those are hard.
They're so good. The
I love
helmet,
that helmet.
yes.
Oh, I
Their
love the way like
uniforms
the
are,
wings start at the visor and then branch out and they're silver and it's the what is it, the Kelly greens? I
yeah, but
love that.
It's matte and the silver shiny.
Yes.
Yeah, whoever's designing their uniforms right now, probably my favorite in the NFL this year.
Yeah. Well, the Ravens Bengals played last Thursday. And the Ravens, it was probably the hardest uniform I've seen all season, like even better than these. And it was they had a matte purple helmet with like the gold old school Baltimore emblem on it, and it was so freaking cool. It was awesome. I
I love
also
their all black uniform. I do love the Baltimore Ravens all
yes.
black. It looks great.
I also want to check real quick because right now is Thursday night football is happening right now. Um, and it's Commanders versus Eagles. So I'm checking the score right now
Okay.
because I'm sure the Commanders are going to be dominating. Oh no way!
Are they losing?
They're going to lose. There's 56 seconds left in the game,
They
and
got their butts kicked
yeah, 26-10 Eagles.
with 56 seconds to. I mean, the Eagles are 7-2. Commanders are 7-3,
7-3.
7-4 now.
Yeah. Wow. That's oh my god. The Eagles have put up 20 points in the fourth quarter alone.
Damn.
That's
Yeah.
nuts.
Um, wow.
Because they were trailing 7-3 at the half, and then they each scored a field goal in the third quarter, and then they just put up 20 points in the freaking fourth
I did
quarter. That's
not set
bananas.
my fantasy lineup today.
You didn't?
No, but I have Jalen Hurts. I know that.
Nice. Love to see that. Okay. I'm gonna get into the Chiefs game this week.
How was Kansas City?
Kansas City was lovely as per usual. The game was wonderful. Like the game was actually like terrible, if I'm being honest. Like it was a very low scoring game. It was really boring. Um, but the last 1 second of the game was so worth it. Like I
It went
have
into overtime, right?
no, it
Okay.
was Courtney.
I did
Oh
not
my
watch
god.
this. I did not watch it at all.
So it was four, no, 16-14 or 14-12. 14-12 sounds more correct, so that's what I'm gonna go with. 14-12. Um, I didn't write it down because I was there. So it's been a low scoring game. There were only like 5 penalties the entire game. Um, and so the Broncos did a really, really good job of managing the clock. Um, because they were able to get the ball down the field to like the 30-yard line. So all they had to do was kick a field goal and win. Um, and so they left it with 1 second left on the clock. and they went up to kick the field goal, and not Drew Tranquil, Leo Chanel absolutely like hulked out beast moded. Kick goes up, Leo Chanel dives over the defensive line, blocks the kick for the win.
A
It
blocked
was
kick in NFL. What the
like, I was talking to somebody about it, and I was like, how many times in an NFL season do you get to see a blocked kick?
hardly ever.
Right. So like the fact that this was the game winner was blocking a kick, I there's only one other game I've ever been to for any football that was more electric than Sunday, and it was when Nebraska beat Michigan State at home in November of 2015. And like that was rigged, first of all. That was totally rigged for Nebraska. They should not have won that game. But Michigan State was so good, Nebraska was so bad. It was just like absolutely electric. But this weekend it was like you've got people who are like yelling and screaming and the stadium's so loud and then the kick gets blocked. My sister for sure and my dad I think possibly had their head in their hands so didn't even see it. And I'm standing there, I'm like this the whole time. And I said to the people in front of us, I was like, listen, we're 8-0. We had to lose sometime. It just sucks that the game that they are going to lose is the one that we're at. And the guys next to us were Broncos fans, and they were like, we got him. We got him. It's over. We're going to do it. Oh my God. And then you see like from my perspective, it was like slow motion. You see the kicker go up, and then all of a sudden you see this sea of red go off to my left, so they're right, and they're falling on the ball, and they kick the like they bat the ball out of the sideline, and the game's over. It was the loudest I've ever heard anything. Like I was screaming and I was jumping up and down and sprinting up and down the row, like high-fiving anybody I could find. I jumped so hard that I like peed my pants a little bit.
Oh
Like
my God.
it was bananas. My sister, who doesn't care about sports at all, is screaming her little head off. Like she can't believe it. She's so excited. And then Travis Kelsey gave an interview after the game, and he's like, I've never experienced anything like that energy after the game. He said, like, it was so electric, it was so intense. Like, he started tearing up because it was just so loud. And like, you can hear it in the post game interviews. Like, everybody was going ballistic for a solid like 15 minutes. Nobody was leaving the stadium. Everyone's just screaming. It was
All
awesome.
for a midseason game.
All
But it,
for a
I
midseason
mean,
game.
but a blocked kick. That's
A
impressive.
blocked a blocked kick that kept us undefeated.
Right.
Like I think that was why it was such a
You
big
can't rig
reaction.
that.
Right,
You can't
because it's
screen like
like
you
we're about
cannot
to
write
lose
that
our
in the
streak.
script.
Yeah. So it was awesome. It was incredible. And then I texted Dayton, and Dayton's younger brother, I guess, said something about like, well, I heard the game was rigged because of God, what was the call? An illegal hands to the face by the Broncos and something to do with the time. And I was like, I know exactly what you're talking about. It was an illegal hands to the face that was legitimate on the Broncos in the second or third quarter, and they added 10 seconds to the clock. And I don't know why, because I wasn't paying close enough attention, but I remember seeing like 30 seconds left on the clock and then like 40 seconds left on the clock and being like, I don't know why they did that. But like, you can't tell me the game was rigged if a legitimate call and a 10-second addition is the reason you're claiming to have lost the game when that call happened in the middle of the game, not in the like last 2 minutes. Like,
Yeah, you can't count that.
yeah, I'm like that just means that you're like digging for scraps because you suck.
Yeah.
Like, it was insane.
Is that the
But
only game you're going to this year?
yeah, as like them being Super Bowl winners, like the tickets are so expensive, and I just don't have like extra cash laying around this year.
Are they so
So
expensive? I figured they would be.
yeah, like I really want to go to a game next year too, but like I know, like if you and I go to a game next year, it's gonna have to be like a bad team. Like And it just is what it is. Like last year was incredible. New Year's Eve against the Bengals to clinch the AFC West or the AFC.
That was
Yeah.
worth every single dollar.
Oh my God. I do not, I have never regretted a purchase less. Like, oh
Still,
yeah.
such a good moment.
Oh, so worth it. It was such an amazing game.
I
But
want to go to what?
bad news coming out of that game. Butker's out for 3 weeks with a knee injury.
I know, I saw that. I almost texted you and I'm like, we'll talk about it tonight. But
Well,
yeah.
I didn't know. And then I was at church band practice and my dad texted it to
Oh,
me and I was like, you're joking. So, but I mean, like, when me and you and Mariah went a few years ago, like, Butker had been out that season too for like 6 weeks, and the game we were there was his first game back. Um, so like I don't even know if Tommy Townsend is still on the Chiefs. I'm gonna look that up because Matt Ariza might be filling in for him, and he is our new punter, and he's good. He's got a cannon on him. Um, second string kicker Chiefs, because I know our second string punter is Patrick Mahomes.
is who?
Patrick Mahomes.
He punts
Yeah,
football?
he's our second string punter.
Really?
Yeah.
He would be.
Yeah, he can
Just
boot
an
it.
all-around athlete.
Okay, as of 12 hours ago, the Chiefs are signing kicker Spencer Schrader off the Jets practice squad. And say our safety Justin Reed can fill in as kicker too. Justin Reed is actually a good kicker, which is insane because he plays in the secondary. But yeah, very versatile. But yeah, so that sucks, but it'll only be 3 weeks. Um, and like he should be back by the second or third week of December, I guess. So it'll be whatever. It'll be what it is. And if we lose a game in his absence, it makes sense because like he gets us all of our points anyway. Like
I
sick
think
of
we
it.
should just find a way to make it to New Orleans for the Super Bowl.
Oh my God, that would be
Even if we don't
amazing.
even go to the game, we can just go down there.
I've never been.
Me neither. I want to go to New Orleans so bad.
I do too. Dayton's been once and he says it's the worst city he's ever been to in his
I
life.
heard it's very dirty.
Yeah, he said it's like super dirty and that like even my friend Amber said she went there with her kids. She's like, if you're going with kids, you've got to get off the streets by 4 p.m. Dayton's like, there are people just walking around openly selling coke. Like,
I don't want to take my children there. Like,
oh no, absolutely not.
but I
Like,
would love to experience like Mardi Gras one time.
oh yeah, that'd be sick. I think there are certain places where like I would go without Dayton, but I know that I would feel a lot better if he was there, and New Orleans is one of them.
Yeah.
Of like I know it would probably be more not more annoying, but like more restricted, but only because when like he's around big crowds with me, he's like hyper vigilant of like everything that could possibly go wrong so he can get us out of a bad situation. Whereas if it's just him, he like doesn't care as much. But like so I know that like that would get annoying, but I also know that I would be kind of a little freaked out otherwise that something bad would happen to me. So
I
I don't
just
know.
would not drink drinks from people. That's one thing.
Oh, absolutely not.
And
It
not get
roofies
drunk.
so
Wouldn't
fast.
drink my water.
Yeah.
When you get into trouble, you start drinking and you don't know where you're at, and you're in a whole different city.
Hmm.
No, thank you.
Yeah. If I'm like out on the streets, the only cities I'm gonna be drinking in are Omaha and Kansas City and Des Moines. Like that's it. Like I can't even do Lincoln. Like I haven't spent enough time in Lincoln. Lincoln's so confusing to me. I hate it there. Like,
Yeah, I know Lincoln so well.
yeah, I know you know, yeah. Like if I was with you, I wouldn't care, or if I was with Mariah, I wouldn't care. But like otherwise, I'd be like, absolutely not. This is not it
Right.
for me.
That's even now. I'm like, I'll stay home and have my glass of wine.
Yep,
Go to bed.
yep. On a special occasion, like go in the driveway with the friends. Like,
Yes, the
yeah.
safe way.
Well, at the end of the month, Beth's birthday, her 21st birthday is on Black Friday. And so
What are you
that'll
guys doing?
um she wants to go to the casino and then she wants to go to the strip club. And
Beth, if I'm not invited to this, I'm gonna be upset. I want to be invited to this.
I'll make sure she knows. I'll make sure she
Doesn't watch
knows.
this. I'll
Yeah,
just pop in for a little bit. I gotta come
yeah,
celebrate. I gotta come take a birthday shot with Beth. Oh my
a
goodness.
100%. She'll be so excited. But so I've got
Casino
to like
strip
mentally
club?
what? Yeah, I've got to really mentally prepare myself
I'll go to
because
strip
like,
club with you.
see, I've never been. I'm very anti strip
What?
club. Like,
I've never been and spent my own money.
well, yeah.
That's boring. You gotta go with people who have a lot of money. That's the best time to go to the strip club. Um,
Yeah.
what strip club does she want to go to?
I don't she we're probably going to end up going to Club O if we go.
The one where you BYOB.
Yes. Yes. So, I don't know. I'm going to try to have a positive attitude. I hate the casino. I don't have any sort of interest whatsoever in ever going to a strip club. So like this like personally her birthday sounds like my worst nightmare. But but
It'd be fun.
yeah, I'm going to like have a positive attitude and keep in mind that like my attitude is going to affect how my night goes, and if I'm being a grouch, I'm going to have a terrible time.
Absolutely.
So like
Experience it. You need to experience a strip club at least.
ugh, yeah, yeah. I can experience it once and then probably never go back and be fine.
Yeah,
So,
I've been to Club O. It wasn't
yeah,
all.
it isn't.
The girls
No.
are just so young, and I'm like, your body's not even formed.
Oh, that makes me feel gross.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I'm like, you're like 19 years old. You're too young to
Oh,
be doing this. I didn't like
yeah,
that
no.
part.
Yeah, I don't like that very much. But
It was
anyway,
like
yeah,
the
that's
girls were younger. So I was like, you know what? Maybe my old ass doesn't need to belong. I don't belong in the strip club. This
fair
was a few
enough.
years back too. I was just like, these girls are way too young here.
Where are your parents?
Literally.
Like, do your parents still have to go to the doctor with you? Like,
I was like, this is not okay. And they're women by, what the state or whatever
yeah,
government is. They're women, but you're still a young lady. Chill
yeah,
out.
yeah. I mean, but I feel like that's the time when people are going nuts, is around like 19 to 24,
Yeah.
dependent upon the person. Like, but that's
They
like
have to
pretty
be
much,
some kind of drunk to do that, you would think.
oh my God, absolutely. But I feel like that's why there's like that
Nothing against
stereotype.
strippers. Like if any strippers are watching this, I don't know if there is, but I'm
Yeah, and
just,
you can let us know in the comments. Like,
yeah, please let us know. How do you do it?
honestly,
Sober or drunk?
I feel I feel like you
That
can't
many
be
people
sober.
in your bubble?
Absolutely not.
People, mm-mm.
No. And it's like, and you have no control. Like, you have agency, but like, if somebody pays you to do something, like, it doesn't matter if they're like 1,000 years old or 5 million pounds or just like gross.
Or
It
if
looks
they
like they have
smell bad or
right, like they haven't showered in a year. Like,
no.
I no, no, not for me.
I don't know how we're talking about strippers on this, but
Uh,
here we
thanks,
are.
thanks, Beth. Thanks for that. You've got us really.
Go experience the damn strip club.
Ugh.
Club, I don't know about, but go experience the damn strip club.
I mean, we're limited in options in Omaha. Like,
Yeah, but like Spearmint Rhino.
that's the only other place I think they would consider because the Playhouse is not. I've never heard anything good about the Playhouse, and Lipsticks closes at 2.
Oh, they want to go after.
Yeah, this is the third and final thing that's making me like, oh my God, is that. And I'm not going to say anything while we're recording, but there are going to be certain people who are guaranteed to run into us at the casino. And we will then be spending the rest of the night with them. And I do not like these people.
Oh,
And if I will be driving separately because if history has taught me anything, it's that if I don't drive separately, I will not arrive at my own home until 8:30 in the morning.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. And I would love to be snuggled into bed by, at the absolute very latest, if like things go down insanely for me, 3:30 in the morning. Like,
God, that's late. What?
I know. I'm giving space for that to be like a possibility. But like if I'm not in my car on my way home by 3:15, something has gone horribly wrong. Like,
God, that is so late.
I know. I just I'm just not a late person. Like for my birthday this year, everyone's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm asking people to not talk to me. I'm gonna watch Bridgerton, and then I'm gonna like we DoorDashed Outback and had steaks and watched a movie and went to bed at a decent hour." Like
You're an old lady. You're an old lady
I
status.
and I love it.
Mhm.
Like I can probably go out and have fun very late into the evening. Gosh, a very liberal estimate, 6 times a year, every other month. But that even sounds like so much for me. Like, more honestly, probably like 2 times in June for College World Series, and then 2 to 3 other times throughout the year. Like,
I went
I
out on
don't.
Saturday night for the first time in a long
With
time.
the moms, how was it?
Uh, I did. I don't know who that one lady was, but she wouldn't be in our picture. But I went
I
out with, yeah, Zena's friend's mom. We had so much fun. It
good.
was so much fun. We got there, I think at like 11:45, and we were leaving by 1:15.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds
An hour
fine to
and a half.
me.
And she loves to dance. And we just sat there and we're in our own little space and they were playing decent music and we danced. And I had my I had 3 drinks and I felt like I was dead until 1 o'clock the next day at over 3 drinks.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I left the bar at 1:15.
Yeah.
I
No.
was there for an hour and a half.
This is one of the reasons that I can't stay out late and drink anymore, is because the entire next day I'm like useless.
Over 3 drinks.
Yeah, it takes almost nothing.
Like, yeah. And then I had heels on, but I just wanted to get dressed up and go out more than anything.
Yeah.
And then my legs were hurting because I was dancing in my heels. And I'm like,
Ugh,
oh man,
I love it.
now I got my fix and I'm good for a few more months.
Yep. Yeah.
It was
Maybe
fun.
sometime in February.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
New Year's Eve.
Oh yeah, New Year's Eve. I never do anything for New Year's Eve. Maybe we'll go out this year. That might be fun.
Ooh, we could
Maybe
talk
we
about it.
should do that. Yeah.
I would love to go to dinner somewhere nice, get all dressed up,
Yes.
be home by, 1 o'clock in the morning, do the whole midnight thing, and then come home.
That'd be awesome, honestly.
Or I've seen like those events where the dinner's all included with the
Hmm.
whole evening's events. I would be down to do one of those.
That's sick. That sounds awesome. I have not heard of those, but I like the concept.
I'm down to throwing a New Year's Eve party, maybe in my house.
Yeah, that'd be fun too.
Possibly.
Dayton could DJ.
Okay.
He'd love that.
That would be
He'd bring
fun.
his whole freaking DJ setup. That
Do you
thing's
have
massive.
Thanksgiving plans? That's the next one. Here we
Thanksgiving
are. We're getting
plans.
distracted on this podcast talking about our.
I love it though. My Thanksgiving plans. So I work until 3 p.m. the day before Thanksgiving, and then we're going to a family dinner night at Jared's mom's house. Um, and then Thanksgiving morning, I'm gonna go over to my grandma's house because I'm cooking dinner. I'm cooking Thanksgiving for my grandma again this year. She's doing the turkey. She and my sister are doing the Brussels sprouts because I bit off more than I could chew, and my sister's doing the rolls, and then I'm doing everything else. So I actually have my Thanksgiving 2024. So, oh, my grandma's also doing the mashed potatoes and gravy because, like, I showed her my list and I was like, it's too much. I like have bitten off more than I can chew. So, my grandma's doing mashed potatoes and gravy and turkey. My sister's doing the rolls, and they're working together on the maple pecan Brussels sprouts. I'm doing asparagus, caramelized carrots, cheesy scalloped potatoes, corn casserole, green bean casserole, and mac and cheese. And
Damn.
a pecan cheesecake bars. And then after that's over, I'm going to Thanksgiving number 2, where I'm bringing another green bean casserole, another cheesy scallop potato dish, and some like cranberry brie pastry bites.
Dang, you're gonna be Thanksgiving dinnered out.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a very stressful day. I'm gonna be exhausted, but it's gonna be good. Like I did it last year, except for I didn't bring food last year, but it was still nice. So it'll be a
Mm,
long day, but it'll be a good day.
good for you.
What are you doing?
I work an event the night before um, in Lincoln, so we're gonna stay with my parents that night. We're gonna wake up and do brunch with my parents, and then it's kind of up in the air what we're gonna do after that.
Okay. I like
Sure,
brunch.
yet. We have a couple different options,
Hmm.
but for sure, breakfast brunch with my mom and dad, and
Yeah,
I plan to be come back to Omaha by noon.
beautiful. I like that, like doing a Thanksgiving brunch and just like it seems less stress.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Like I enjoy the sides of Thanksgiving, but I
Yeah.
turkey doesn't do it for me. Ham definitely like none of that does it for me.
I love
I'd rather do a
ham.
crab boil or a
Oh my
seafood
God.
boil.
Yes.
I don't
A
know. It's just
thousand
not
percent.
a traditional. I like it, like the stuffing with some
Hmm.
gravy on it. And mashed potatoes I make all year round.
Yeah.
Green bean
Same.
casserole. Yeah. But
Same.
like it's just not, I don't know.
Yeah. Like I like ham a lot. I love ham. Turkey for me is just a vessel for gravy. Um, so
That's
that's fine.
yeah.
But like I love Thanksgiving. Like I love the cooking part of Thanksgiving and getting to spend time with my grandma. Like that's really fun. And I love my family, but they're so quiet when we eat. Like it's just so quiet. Like especially the way things are set up because it's like me and my grandma are at the heads of the table on opposite sides, and then next to my grandma is my grandpa. And my grandpa like is very old school in the way where he like doesn't like my mom and uncle weren't allowed to laugh at the dinner table growing up.
Yeah, that's how I get it. That's how I was
Yeah.
raised too.
And like
So yeah.
he's so much more chill now, like
Hmm.
way different, but he's still like he himself is very quiet when he eats. And then my sister's next to him and she's 14, so she's quiet all the time. And then my mom and stepdad on the other side of me. And it's like me and my grandma are not going to give up our seats, but the most conversation is happening from my end of the table to hers where we're just talking to each other. But then you go to Dayton's mom's house and I love it. It is the most chaotic environment in the entire world. Like, especially this year, I'll tell you who all. So, normally, I'll bring Ghost with me to my grandma's and she'll spend Thanksgiving with us there. And then I'll bring her to Jared and Sabrina's. And so, first of all, we have Ghost. We have the two Dobermans, Harley and Maverick. We have Red, who's like a beagle. And then we have Jackson, who's an Australian Shepherd. So we've already got 5 dogs. This year, Ghost is not coming over. So she's coming and spending the day with me, and then she's gonna come here and sleep while we go to Jared and Sabrina's. Because all those dogs are gonna be there. Plus, Dayton's Uncle Ray is gonna be there, who's got like a year-old cane corso,
Oh,
and he's not neutered. Ghost isn't spayed. Not bringing Ghost. So the cane corso is going to be there, and I think another dog that's like Ray's girlfriend's. So like Ray's going to be there, his girlfriend's going to be there. I think like 3 kids are going to be there, and by kids, I don't know what age we're talking. We could be talking 6, we could be talking like 30. I don't know. Um, and then like Kenna, Jared, Sabrina, me, Dayton's brother Dylan, Dylan's girlfriend Megan, Grandma and Grandpa Nation. Like there's gonna be like 15 people there this year.
it's gonna be a
And it's
packed house.
oh my god, and it's so chaotic and everyone's so loud and everyone's screaming all the time and the TV's going and it's the best. I like thrive in it. I just love how crazy it is because like my upbringing is so opposite and everyone's so quiet all the time. And I'm sure if I grew up in like the chaos, then the peace would be nice. But like for me, it's like every single day of my life is pretty peaceful. So like when I get to have a chaotic family get together, I love it.
We grew up very similar. So,
Yeah.
and then my mom and I worked Thanksgiving all the time after I turned what, 15. We work Thanksgiving almost every year.
Yep.
And the same. They're just so quiet. Like
Yeah.
family. And then I've known obviously the girls' dad for since I was 13. I probably started going over there for Thanksgiving when I was like 15, 16. Yeah, like, oh, this is way more fun.
Oh yeah.
And I don't
Very
mean that
different
in
environment.
any disrespectful way. I really don't, but it's just, it's
Right.
way different.
Yeah. Like the environment's just different. And like like I know like I think my grandma would really like being over at Jared and Sabrina's on Thanksgiving. I think my mom would hate it and my grandpa would hate it. Like it would be a nightmare for them because they're both like quieter people sort of, but more so like regimented and controlled people, and so they don't like chaos.
I
So,
thrive in it, just like you. Like I
yeah.
thrive in chaos.
Yeah. Like not all the time, but like on special occasions it's just awesome.
I swear that's being back in a restaurant 2 times a week, 1 to 2
Mhm.
times a week. I'm loving it. I'm like,
Good.
yes, give me some chaotic environment where it's like people are being loud and I'm talking to people that around my age and, you know,
Yeah.
not over TV or not over a screen. I know I could come to your house, but it's like leaving my girls at bedtime.
It's too much.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And then I come home to attitudes and it's not worth it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And this works totally fine. So it's like
I just
the
look at my
power of
chair over
technology.
there.
What?
And I
We
just look
still
at
got
my
this chair.
empty chair.
I wasn't gonna put Ghost in it tonight. I didn't want to deal with it. Yeah. Okay, the last thing I have on our list for us, because I'm sure we're like over an hour by now. I don't even
Oh
know what
God,
time it
yeah.
is.
Anybody's still listening to us?
Oh my god, it's almost 11. Did you see that Travis Kelsey and Patrick Mahomes like houses got broken
I
into?
did see that.
Yeah. So like the first one to get burglarized was Patrick Mahomes, and his house got burglarized while he was out at Travis Kelsey's birthday party on like the weekend of October 5th. And then a couple days later, they were playing the Saints, and during the game, Travis Kelsey's house got burglarized, and they stole $20,000 in cash plus another like $1,000 of possessions. Um,
How does
and
one
so
get into either of their homes?
I don't know,
It
like
has to be somebody they know, somebody they trust.
right, like they have to have, and I mean, maybe I would think Patrick has to have security because he's got children and a wife.
Travis Kelsey has to have the best security.
I mean, if Taylor's there, yeah, because Taylor's got security
That's
locked,
yeah.
airtight, figured out. Like, she has to. But like if it's just Travis Kelsey there, then I can see like the security being a little bit more lax because it's just him. But
Cameras
like,
though, and like, how are they getting in their home?
right, it's gated communities, first of all. Like,
It has to be somebody they know,
yeah,
like
it
part of their
just,
cleaning crew, part of
mm.
their security team. But I'm thinking it has to be somebody like cleaning crew.
And they've got cameras. You can't tell me they live in these $1 billion houses
They
and they don't have
absolutely
cameras.
do.
So like, I don't know. But Patrick released a statement and he said, obviously it's frustrating, it's disappointing, but I mean, I can't get into too many details because the investigation's still ongoing, but obviously something that you don't want to happen to really anybody, but obviously yourself. Like, especially for him, like, thank God nobody was home because he's got children.
And how did like you walked into Travis Kelsey's home and you knew where the $20,000 in cash was?
And you knew, like, Travis's schedule of getting robbed is less suspicious than Patrick's because he was playing in the New Orleans game. Like anybody could know that he wasn't home. But to know that Patrick was going to be out and Brittany was going to be out one night because they're at Travis's birthday party, like That's a little less public.
Their nanny had somebody over.
Right. Because, like, who's watching the kids?
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's somebody they know. Both of them.
They have to. And there's an investigation ongoing and they can't talk about it. So maybe,
Yeah. Yeah, I
yeah,
bet it comes out. It's somebody they both know. There's no
probably.
way you have to know how to get into their homes to burglarize them.
Right.
You're telling me they don't have security on their doors or their windows if it gets broke. If somebody breaks a window in my house, I have an alarm for broken windows.
Yeah.
All the windows, and you can't break one window in my house without an alarm going off.
Beautiful.
So you're telling me they don't have that? It's somebody who knew a code to get into their home.
Has to be. Has to be. Like, I've seen,
They probably have the same cleaning crew.
yep, probably. Like, I'm sure that it's got to be like, it's probably a cleaning crew that, like, is vetted by the NFL or by the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Like I've seen or Patrick Mahomes' house because it's in the quarterback documentary when he's building it. Like, it's gigantic, it's massive, it's on a huge estate, but like it's high tech and secure. So
Yeah.
like
You're
the
not giving
security system had to be compromised.
$20,000 cash.
Yeah,
I had plenty of time to search through all of Travis Kelsey's things and find the $20,000 worth of cash. Get
right.
get out of
That's a
here.
good point. Because like, where do you keep $20,000? And he lives in a mansion. So
You
like,
think he just has $20,000 cash laying out on his kitchen table?
highly doubted. Highly
No.
doubt it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was an inside job. You heard it here first.
Put me on the detectives team.
All right, you ready to wrap this up since it's been
Ready to wrap it up.
real long?
Always wrap it up. That's so bad.
Wise words to the children.
Wise words.
And by children, I mean people over the
30 and
age
under.
of 22.
I'm over here, 30 and under.
Oh my God. All right. Well, if you have any questions in the coming weekend and you want some answers from you girls, go ahead and DM us on our Instagram page at powderpuff_pod and give us a follow while you're there. Some good content and just like some digestible bite-sized bits of NFL and college news. You can also email us your questions at powderpuffsportspod@gmail.com. As always, thanks for tuning into Powder Puff, the football podcast by the girls for the girls. We'll have new content out every Friday morning for you, providing insight and conversation to help you get your footing as a football fan, and just as we learned tonight, random nonsense for an hour.
And while you're here, go ahead and give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and send this episode to your favorite football fan or anybody who wants to hear our drama-filled lives. That's not really full of drama at all. You know.
Bye, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.